Having said that, I would like to conclude the information I intended to give to you, information or briefing regarding my small research titled "Killing on Behalf of the State: Why Victims Turn into Criminals." The report or research is not completed yet, but I have almost completed its fundamental sections, parts, and I would like to mention one more time that the research takes into consideration the atrocities and state killings committed in the first, basically in the first 50 years of the existence of the Soviet Union. Let's continue with my conclusions. Well, I am a lawyer by profession. I have numerous years of experience as a university teacher. I taught various subjects of law. I prepared this material with the purpose of underlining the importance of education in dealing with the phenomenon of democide, or how we call it, state killing. Well, I am an ordinary citizen of Azerbaijan Republic. I was born 42 years ago, and at that time we still lived under the Soviet rule. Now Azerbaijan is an independent republic. Azerbaijan Republic regained its independence for the second time in 1991. But I have to mention that alongside with other Soviet nations, the population of Azerbaijan also suffered severely from the repression. Azerbaijan, the land of fire, did also, unfortunately, lost many of its sons and daughters, intellectuals, researchers, thinkers, etc., in the course of the mentioned repression. From this point of view, the topic of this sort of small research is quite interesting and thought-provoking for me. In my humble opinion, proper education would definitely save millions of lives in the former Soviet Union. We have a brilliant example of this on the world arena today. We could coexist peacefully with the European Union. We know that there were a lot of republics, 15 republics included under the roof of the Soviet Union. We could integrate and cooperate peacefully and economically as the 15 independent republics. We could trust each other's because there are a lot of common things um, that share the former Soviet nations. There should be no wars, no conflicts, no repressions. From that point of view, proper education would definitely save millions of lives in the former Soviet Union. Um, proper education would undoubtedly prevent democides, armed conflicts, ethnic and national religious conflicts, etc. Um, uh, I would like to touch upon the motives of those killers one more time. You may believe or not, but there are numerous undeniable facts that some of the victims on the first list, innocent people, were killed by the authorities by poisoning, shooting, sending to the exile, etc. They were killed just for personal reasons of the operatives, investigators, high officials, etc. In other words, these people who had enough authority and opportunities, they just took revenge from those who did not like them, who confronted with them, or who expressed their own opinion with regards to different issues, matters. Well, in other cases, thousands of innocent people on the first list were kept under strict supervision. They were not killed, but they were kept under strict supervision for the whole length of their lives, as if they were deeply penetrated agents. Supervision is not, let's say, watching is not such a big tragedy, but besides watching these people, the state authorities, the operatives, viewed these victims, these poor people, these poor brilliant intellectuals, as dangerous, and various provocative games were elaborated, screenplays were written and played around them in order to create and disseminate myths about the victims. Well, again, I would like to point out that the principal aim was to strengthen the public opinion that the given victim was a foreign agent or a homosexual or a member of a terrorist organization, of a radical group, of a nationalist movement, etc. That was the main objective of the state authorities. That would be more than enough to put the person, the victim, to vacuumize him, to excommunicate him, and let's point out one more time that those victims were distinguished, brilliant people for their inborn talent, high intellect, fantastic capabilities, working capabilities, due diligence, and notable literacy standards. If we compare the victims, brilliant people, and the criminals who abused state power and committed um, awful crimes against the innocent people, we can come to the conclusion that the victims should govern the state, but not the uh, previous category of the people. At least the governing people should consult the intellectuals. They should give them some, let's say, some square to act, to live, and they should benefit from them. In that case, I have no doubt that my scenario regarding the Eurasian integration of independent states would come true and would be existing by now. But the authorities, the top level authorities and the investigators, the operatives, they were people of instinct. They acted in accordance with their own instincts. Those brilliant people who became the victims of the unfair criminal policies or state policies, they acted not in accordance with their instincts, but in accordance with human logic and scientific whys and wherefores. If these people would act in accordance with their human instincts, then they probably, with great probability, they could save their lives. They could not become the victims of the Soviet authorities. But I would like to repeat, they acted in accordance with their logic. They acted with the scientific whys and wherefores. This reality always frightened the people of instincts to the death. They were afraid of losing their power. They were afraid of losing their posts. They always were afraid of becoming victims and being punished for the crimes they had committed in the past. So they composed fantastic myths, arranged a number of false convictions, and eliminated the right persons who could save them and their families in case of emergency situations. Well, this didn't happen. They didn't feel pity for the victims, and their successors, they didn't feel pity for them. Briefly speaking, the heroes of the people were not prepared and educated well enough to control their instincts. They never confessed that they were also human beings and they could also make terrible mistakes. What could be done to prevent future tragedies from that perspective? As I have already outlined, in my humble opinion, there was only one single answer. The right education could save the lives of millions, the right education could save the Eurasian integration of independent states. And just before closing, I find it appropriate to bring to your attention the following quotation from wonderful novel written by Victor Hugo. Teach the ignorant as much as you can. Society is culpable in not providing a free education for all, and it must answer for the night which it produces. If the soul is left in darkness, sins will be committed. The guilty one is not he who commits the sin, but he who causes the darkness. Thank you very much for your attention. Hopefully you find these research materials interesting and useful. Bye for now.